Good afternoon and welcome to Páirc Uí Bhríon here in Carlow Town, the home of Éire Óg. Of course, a very successful Carlow club that went on to win 5 Leinster club titles. Very unlucky not to win the All-Ireland crown, and of course were trained by a man who was well involved with Athy, of course, in their time in the late Bobby Miller. But we're here today in the hope that Athy can claim a Leinster minor crown in this tournament run by Éire Óg. They're up against Rhode of Athy, and let's go through the Athy team. In goal will be James Roycroft, full back line of Killian Mulhall, Luke Thomas and Wesley Clare. David Hyland, Barry Purcell and David O'Toole will be the half back line. At centre field there is a change. Liam McGovern will be partnered by Micheál Fennelly, who will be wearing the full forwards jersey number 14. The half forward line, Hughie Mahan, Tony Gibbons and Niall Kelly. And the full forward line of Michael Keogh. Keelan Bulger comes in then wearing number 23 at full forward, and Sean Ronan will be wearing the number 15 shirt. The subs: Shane Foley, Raymond Hyland, Ben Mackey, Pascal Connell, Conor Harrington, Trevor Farrell, Shane McGovern, Carl Foley, Mark Robinson, Damon Fogarty, Ryan O'Toole, Paddy Keogh, Conor O'Keefe, Stephen Flynn and Paul Whelan, and of course managed by Shane Purcell. Selectors: Joe Robinson, Tony Cribbins, Pat Considine and Joe Kelly. The Rhode team: season goal Paul Coates, full back line of Conor McNamee, Owen Rigney and Thomas Mooney. James McFadden, Stephen Hannon and Christopher Maguire are the half backs. At centre field will be John Brickland and Philip Foy. Paul McPadden, Keane Donoghue and Cathal Nolan will be the half forwards. Thomas Dowling, Donald Hickey and Stephen O'Connell the full forward line. Their subs: Dara Barr, William Molloy, Wayne Levy and Dean Morris. They're managed by a former Offaly great, Jody Gunning. Selectors: Anthony Hyland, Pat McManus and Thomas McDermott. Referee for today's game will be a man well known in and around the Athy area, Maurice Deegan of Stradbally. And we will have a minute's silence as well in the next couple of minutes for the late Paddy Wright, of course the Sinn Féin councillor who died during the week, and he won a minor county title with Athy back in 1956. Now here with me today, keeping an eye on notes as well, is TJ Clare. And TJ, this game has been, of course, on and off because of the weather over the last number of weeks. I'm sure the lads glad to get out and play a bit of ball.
Oh, definitely. I was talking to the minor management. They said they've been working hard there. They're in the local secondary school, art school in Trinode. They're using the inside facilities to keep the lads in out of the cold weather, you know. And I think a word has to go in about Éire Óg club itself. You know, they've worked very hard to keep the pitch as good as possible. And talking to John Kearns earlier, says he hasn't seen it in better condition in the past couple of weeks and couple of months. So I think it's a good sign. And I was talking to the Rhode managers as well, and apparently they had to move into an equestrian centre for training. So that was the only area that could get wide enough to play a bit of football, and eventually, as you said, I think it's the 4th time of asking now they've put this fixture together, and hopefully it'll go off well, you know.
Looking at it then as well, Athy, you know, the manner of winning the 3rd title, county title in a row was something fabulous, and then to roll on into Leinster, good momentum. You're hoping now the number of weeks break hasn't taken the momentum out of the legs a bit.
Exactly, yeah, and it's always going to be a problem, you know, a prolonged break like that. The teams will lose a bit of rhythm and a bit of momentum in training, and it's very hard to train hard when you don't have a match coming up. But hopefully it will carry them through, you know. It's an added incentive. They lost here against Na Fianna last year in the final, so a lot of these players would have been on that team and on that panel. So if they have any sort of drive, it would be that, giving them a drive behind them to win this match after losing it last year. And then, as you said, you know, to kind of put the icing on the cake after the 3 in a row in Kildare.
Nothing easy though. This Rhode team apparently have a good pedigree coming into the final as well.
They do, yeah. Rhode have won the minor championship in Offaly themselves this year and last year, so they have 2 in a row, and I'm sure this will be a nice ice on the cake for them as well. And they have, you know, they have good strength there with the full back, the goalkeeper. Paul Coates in goals is a very strong keeper. Owen Rigney at full back is a strong player coming out with the ball. James McPadden, we have to keep an eye on there. He's number 5 today. I seen him play against Greg Cullen in the quarter final of this competition, and he's a very strong back coming out with the ball, and it almost plays as a 3rd midfielder and forward. And we have Stephen O'Connell up front, takes a lot of the frees, a lot of the scoring. Cathal Nolan is another man at wing forward at number 12 to watch out for. That he acts as a link between the back and the forward. So they're definitely, I seen them playing, they move the ball very, very fast, so we're in for a good game, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. Of course, Athy runners up last year, and Na Fianna winning the title, and this year already St Vincent's of Longford and Greystones of Wicklow have been their opponents, and they have defeated as well. Grey Cullen and Naomh Eoin of Carlow were Rhode's opposition that they have defeated to make it here to the final. So we're just waiting for everyone to get in place and in position. Maurice Deegan is the man out in the middle. Of course, Maurice will be in action, I would imagine, over the inter-county season throughout the National Football League and also the All-Ireland Championship. He is back in Carlow here tomorrow. He will be on the sideline duty for the Carlow Kilkenny O'Moore Cup game, or O'Byrne Cup game I should say, with Brendan Hickey of Kildare, the man who will be officiating in that game. But we're all set and ready to go, I think. We're just waiting on the direction now of the referee. So we're up and running in this game. Maurice Deegan has thrown in the ball, and on straight away are the Rhode midfield partnership there. Philip Foy looking to get in on that ball. He goes down on his knees. It looks like they've been pushed out over, but picking the ball up was David Hyland, and Athy have won the free. Maurice thought about heading it in the other direction, but a good ball played in now by Liam McGovern in on top of the head of Keelan Bulger. Ball breaks down off to Bulger now. He's tried to swing the boot at it, but slips it outside, was being pulled back, and that's a good free worked in there. And straight away, you know, TJ Athy off and running, getting a ball in around the danger area.
Exactly, that's it, and that's what you want to do. You know, use whatever you can, get the ball in there to the danger area, in around the forwards that they know they can score. You know, going to create trouble. Keelan Bulger there has come in, with Kevin Feely being sick, and straight away he's made an instant impact, gathering the ball and earning a free for a tie, which Liam McGovern should kick over him, no doubt will.
He should, and it comes with the left foot, swings it out towards the left post and allows the wind to bring it back in. It's very windy here down from the what I would kind of say the Bagnallstown direction of this ground in towards the town area. A very strong wind, and Liam McGovern though has appointed there for a tie, so they lead by a point to no score in the opening minute here. So keeper Paul Coates, as TJ said, a very good goalkeeper. I can't see an ounce of flesh apart from his head at the moment because he's wearing tights and gloves and all sorts, but kick out, well, didn't go too well that time, but it still works out in favour of Rhode, and they're coming down the field now with Philip Foy. Foy plays a ball down into the right corner, but it's well judged there, and Wesley Clare comes out with it and kicks it right down to the centre forward position. Keelan Bulger coming out for it again, looked like to have overrun it. Niall Kelly is in there, but also trying to get on it is Sean Ronan, but Rhode now back on the ball over on the railway side here at Parky Green in Carlow, and Rhode coming out with that ball looked to have been fouled. And Foy has been in an awful lot of ball in the early stages, and he was the man judged to have been fouled there. It's still Éire Óg a point, or a tie I should say, a point to Rhode's no score, and Rhode coming on the attack. Those colours that have been well known throughout the Leinster region, and of course a little bit maybe at All-Ireland level with the green and the gold hoop. But here gets Niall Kelly on the ball now. He's marker James McPadden slipping there. Kelly goes with this right-footed ball in towards the goal, and it carried very well. I thought he looked like he was going to leave it short, that it might even drop into the keeper's hands, but the wind picked up on it, and a good score.
Without a doubt, yeah, and I think we could see there the ball is definitely carrying in the wind. Here earlier on I thought the wind was directly across the field, but if there's any favour and any advantage in it, it's Athy have it at the moment. And again you see a second ball went into Keelan Bulger there, almost got his hands on it there, so it's obvious what they're doing. They're going to get straight into the danger area here now, and that's what they want to be doing.
Okay, the kickouts are not having much distance for Rhode so far in the opening stages, but the fact is that the wind is playing them very strong, and they're still winning on the ball. Stephen Hannon coming on to those early balls so far, with just coming up on 3 minutes gone, and Rhode trying to make an attack down the field, trying to get onto it. It was Thomas Dowling. Dowling looks like he was fouled, and referee Maurice Deegan gives the free in. This would be very difficult, I would imagine, in this situation now. If I was manager Jody Gunning, I'd be looking for Rhode maybe to work this ball short, because the wind is quite significant and might take this ball away. We'll see what happens anyway, and Stephen O'Connell is the man that's going to take it. So O'Connell now stepping up to this. Liam McGovern not too far away from, but he's going to go back now just to be on the edge, maybe at the 13-metre line or the edge of the square to catch any break. In fact, he's going all the way to the goal line, in beside his goalkeeper James Roycroft. So here comes O'Connell now, taking a steady look at this, going to come up right-footed to this, takes a good strike, but it's low, and it's boxed away there by the Athy defence, and it's picked up by Sean Ronan back helping out his defence. He's been well manhandled there, and Maurice Deegan gives the free, and Athy take it quickly. Lads are slipping and sliding here at the moment. Still a little bit of frost, I would imagine, in the ground, and it's difficult with the studs to have the right studs on, and that looks definitely to be a free for Athy over on the railway side. Former Éire Óg goalkeeper and Carlow inter-county goalkeeper John Kearns, of course, who manages the facility here, doing sideline on the far side. But the ball has been won by Rhodes, a bit sloppy there by Athy, and getting onto it is Philip Foy, but Foy looks to have, I thought, fouled the ball, but Maurice Deegan gives him the free, and Rhode got to take it quickly and to kick it straight into the back of one of the Athy players there, but referee allows the play to move on, and it's across the field here onto the clubhouse side, and the race to the ball there. Killian Mulhall wins that, goes over and tackle again, and you wonder what the Rhode man was doing coming in over the top of him there. Maybe momentum, but he could have done a little bit more to alleviate that situation. But it's Rhode on the ball again as Athy give it away rather easily, and picking it up is Christopher Maguire. Maguire looked to have fouled that ball, I thought, there, and showing it, but the referee allowing play to continue, and trying to get in on the ball there is Barry Purcell. Purcell was shoulder, but he got the ball and he gives it to Mulhall. Mulhall comes back out again, looking inside, trying to find a support player, and he's able to give it off, and Athy keep it moving down here on the clubhouse side. Picking it up and in control of it is Tony Gibbons. Gibbons tries to get inside Foy. Looks to have been fouled, but he's still going. Looking up now for the movement of Bulger. Gets the ball into the direction though of the corner forward. And Bulger's in there as well. Also trying to win it was Michael Keogh. But the referee waiting to see what decision he's going to make. He's looking for someone to come on. Attention there for Rhode. And PJ, one of Athy's better moves, but again, just maybe a bit wasteful on the whole kicking away possession.
Exactly, yeah. Like the main idea would be to get the ball into the danger area, but you have to be smart about it, you know, and put it in on top of the right man at the right time, at the right distance. A bit high there at that time for Michael Keogh, and he had to struggle to get above to get it. Eventually a free out for Rhode here, and the full back is down injured at the moment. But things were looking up for Athy there. They dealt with a bit of pressure and moved the ball out as a unit, bit of fist pass, and eventually decided to kick, which we've seen didn't really work out that time. But I think it's clear the idea is to get it into the danger area as soon as possible. Rhode, I'm sure, have other ideas, but they're finding it hard against the wind, as I said. You know, free kick there, and kick-outs aren't working too well for them. So, but as any game goes, it's going to be a second half, and Rhode are going to have the wind with them as well. So,
yeah, well, it'll be very important, I think, for Athy maybe possibly to have a bit of a lead going in here at half time. 6 minutes gone. We're already about a minute of injury time going to be played at the end of this half because of the injury to this Rhode player. So 2 points to no score. Point came in the first minute from Liam McGovern, the free, and then Niall Kelly working it all his own after about 3 minutes, putting the ball over the bar. Great score indeed. 2 points to no score it is. Ball anyway coming out with Rhode, and they play it short, and it's picked up by John Bricklin. Bricklin, the big strong individual in the middle of the field, tries to lay it off now to his wing back James McPadden, and getting it back into the centre forward now is Cian Donoghue, and Donoghue's on the move, and he tries to play it into his corner forward, and it looks like it's in fact it's Paul McPadden, the wing forward, gone in playing in the corner as Rhode get on the move. A bit of a crowd here from Rhode, swinging it towards the post. Has it come around enough? The umpire says yes, it has. Good score there, and I'm looking to get the number on that. It looks like it was the number 12, or was it Cian Donoghue, the number 11? So Cian Donoghue getting at that, just the sun in her eyes here, but good score you would have to say there, TJ, especially into the wind.
Exactly, he had to work it well there, and you see with his left foot he gently curled it over the bar. He was under pressure from the Athy defence, but that's just a glimpse of what this Rhode team can do. You know, give them 1 inch of space and you're punished straight over the bar, so Athy are going to have to watch out for that, and I'm sure Rhode are going to want to see more of it.
Yeah, well, Rhode are getting on plenty of ball, and it's about Athy now, you would imagine, getting a little bit of possession of it, but the ball by Stephen O'Connell, who's come back around the middle now, picked a corner forward, but looks to be a man that likes to get on a bit of ball, but that was a bit of a slack pass there from Paul McPadden. And Killian Mulhall comes out with it, but a bit loose, but well in there to win it was David Hyland. Hyland now looks up, and bursting out here come Athy again, and it's McGovern on the ball. Good toe to hand a number of times, looks inside for midfield partner and gives it off in fact to Tony Gibbons. Gibbons skips inside, lovely sidestep, now trying to find Keelan Bulger. Bulger of course back in the team after a year out after breaking his leg playing soccer, swings this right foot. This could be a cracking score. Keelan Bulger, is that over the bar? We're waiting on the umpire. It is. Great score, TJ.
Yeah, brilliant score. You know, at that time as I said, he worked it in towards Keelan Bulger and he made no qualms about it. He turned and he put it straight over the bar, and as you said, to come back after a long injury, training hard, working hard to get back into the team, and just deserves there, you know, straight between the post.
So 3 points to 1 it is then, and time is just gone about 8 minutes here. Kick out comes from Roycroft, pulled towards the dressing room side here, and getting onto that ball is David Hyland. Hyland tries to flick it inside to Niall Kelly. Kelly puts the head down, tries to skip inside, holds his balance well and flicks the ball back out, and it comes to Hughie Mahan. Mahan looks inside, gives it to McGovern. McGovern now left footed ball across the field. Could he be trying to pick out Ronan? Ronan is inside on top of the D, has plenty of time, right footed, but in towards the goal, and is pulled to the left and wide. Snatched at it a little bit and just pulled that when maybe the opportunity was there for another score.
Exactly, yeah, you can see there Sean had the ball on the top of the D, as you said, and just dragged it wide, but you can see a change there in the way Athy were approaching the goals. You know, they had a chance maybe to kick it along, but they didn't. Liam McGovern sprayed the ball across to Sean Ronan, so you can see maybe that they are trying to vary things and change things up to try and get at this Rhode team in the first half and make some sort of a lead for half time.
Yeah, of course, it's very early stages yet, and Athy have 3 points to Rhodes 1 here, but Rhode back on the ball now, and again Brickland was in control of it there, offloads it to Stephen Hannon. Hannon right-footed ball across the field to McPadden. McPadden then on the loose and playing the ball in towards the full forward Donald Hickey. Hickey comes for that ball and skips away from Luke Thomas, and it's a charge here for Rhode. Shot at goal, it's put over the bar despite delayed attention there, and it looks again like the Rhode know on certain occasions, TJ, how to unlock this Athy defence in the early stages.
Exactly, James McPadden there finishing off the move with a score, playing the wing back. I seen him play here against Greg Cullen. He played a cornerback that day, but he's biting at the bit to get forward. As you've seen there, he started to move around midfield, paid off a pass and kept running, and eventually received the pass back and put it straight between the posts. And you know, he's going to punish, he's going to try and move forward, and Athy are going to have to watch that and combat it somehow.
Yeah, well, the ball has been won by Micheál Fennelly, of course, playing centre field today because, as we know, the change in midfield there, Kevin Feely not available as he's injured, and he's come in there and trying to get on the ball, but the ball has been worked across the field here now, picked up by Christopher Maguire, but Niall Kelly in hassling him caused him to foul the ball, and Athy have the free on the sideline here, and Lee McGovern is going to take it. So McGovern sizing up his opportunity, looking inside to Ronan, looking inside to Kelly, kicks the ball into Kelly and goes enough for support. Kelly skips inside his marker, lovely right-footed ball, plays it across the goal, but someone need to react there, but picking it up very well indeed was John Brickland, but Brickland loose pass in and around there, and Keelan Bulger picks it up, looking outside again, and he gives it to Gibbons. Gibbons left foot, pulls it right over the bar. I thought it might be just slipping outside the post, but the wind brought it back in again. 4 points to 1. Again, TJ, patient build up there and good intelligent play by McGovern.
Exactly, that's it there. Yeah, it all started with Niall Kelly, made a mistake. He was under hassle from his marker Maguire, but worked hard to win a free. Maguire touched it on the ground and worked it inside. Came back out then. Lee McGovern, as ever, is very smart with his placing of the ball and found Tony Gibbons, and Tony Gibbons with the left foot accurately put it over the bar and put it high up, 4 points to 1. So a 3 point gap, but as we've seen so far, Rhode are dangerous and they're going to come back. Athy are going to have to just keep working at it that's this first half.
Yeah, well, important because the win never won you any game, and you've got to stick at it, and Rhode will come up along the far side. Looks like one of the Athy lads is going to be called across by Morris Deegan, but in fact I think he's just going to get a ticking, but the Rhode man is down, and that all came from a move there where John Brickland again won the ball at the middle of the field. McPadden was picking up the James that just scored their second point, and he released their corner forward. I think it's Tomas Dowling that might be down on the far side, but as you heard from TJ, Athy can't just go about relying on the wind, and they have to be maybe a little bit more intelligent in possession. 4 points to 2 it is here, and there is just 12 minutes gone at Páirc Uí Bhríon here in Carlow, the club grounds of Éire Óg. So Baldo has been won in possession there by Athy, and picking it up is David O'Toole. O'Toole plays a ball down on top of Niall Kelly, pushed in the back by McPadden, but the ball wins its way on to Ronan. Ronan then skips it outside Hughie Mahan. Mahan had the opportunity to give it to Kelly, but he beats his man, and this is a good run from Mahan. Flights it across the goal. This could be dangerous yet, but breaking down, but Rhode read it well, and bursting out with it is Owen Rigney. Rigney toe pokes it out along the ground then, and it's to Brickland. Brickland looks up, skips the ball inside and gets it back. Comes back out over to the 45 and the halfway line now and releases his own man centre back in Stephen Hannon. Hannon now tries to get it down towards the number 10 Paul McPadden, playing in around the corner forward position, and McPadden is still going, left footed ball, pulls it though across the goal, still hasn't gone wide. Do you want to keep an eye on this now as the roadman goes? Eventually it does. Umpire has waved it wide on the far side. Opportunity there. He did get inside Wesley Clare.
Yeah, it's the second or third time that McPadden has gone inside Wesley Clare there, and his left foot is very dangerous coming, as we've seen. He pulled it across the goals there. Could have easily went over the bar, or a roadman on the end of it. But as we've seen Rhode there showing what they can do, building up from the back. Owen Rigney won a ball right at the full back line, a breaking ball, and worked all the way out through John Brickland, all the way up as far as McPadden. As we've seen, went wide, but could have as easily ended up with something dangerous, and Athy wouldn't be happy with that.
No, well, David O'Toole has got on that kick out and he gave it to Barry Purcell, but Purcell didn't play a great ball, but in fairness, Ronan Sean, that is, kept going on the ball, and he has it now on his own, on the road, I should say, 45, and gets inside the ball to Gibbons, I should say. McGovern bursting through, but Sean goes back on the return, looked to being fouled, maybe a soft one there, but Morris Deegan gives the free in, and this is an opportunity for Niall Kelly now to swing that trusted right foot at it, just off the edge of the D, and about 20 metres out from the goals. and we won't put the hex on him, but the way this man is able to kick scores, you'd imagine this should be nearly one to give, but this wind has been whistling around, you'd never know. So here he comes to it, takes his little bit of a jig at it, balances himself up, right footed ball over the bar, no doubt about it. He has his own unique kicking style and all that kind of thing, TJ, when it comes to taking the frees, but it's all effective.
Exactly, I think it's all individual. You know, we've seen plenty of free takers over the years. They've all their own individual style that works for them, and as you see, Niall takes a few little steps before he eventually takes 2 or 3 strides, and most important thing, he kicks right through the ball. If you watch, he kicks right through the ball, directing the ball where he wanted to go, and as you see that time, straight over the bar.
Yeah, didn't need the wind or anything, 5 points to 2. It was so strong of a kick. It was well through on that as Stephen O'Connell of Rhode comes out for the ball in the middle of the field and tries to release it inside now to Paul McPadden. McPadden now left footed ball, looked to have been dragged back there by Barry Purcell. And maybe in there as well was Wesley Clare. I think both of them were wearing the long sleeves, so just trying to catch him in the distance, but I think both lads would want to watch. The referee already has taken names, I think, especially of Barry. But anyway, the free kick going to be taken by Stephen O'Connell. O'Connell now looking for a bit of a move, and there is the move inside in the corner. Good flick ball. McPadden gets onto it and swings the left foot towards the post. It's up and over the bar, and that's a good score, and Athy really should have been alert to that.
Exactly, a well worked free kick there, nice and short, but Athy are going to have to do something with Paul McPadden there. He's very prominent in the full forward line and in around the 45 when he does come out, so something's going to have to be done to quieten him down, whether it's a switch or a substitution, but something's going to have to be changed to make him as ineffective as possible and give Athy a chance to break off him and to get the ball out.
Yeah, well, it's 5 points to 3 now, and the game is just gone about quarter ways through here. And the ball comes out to the middle again, and McGovern gets up and flicks that ball down to Barry Purcell. Purcell with a right footed ball out towards the clubhouse here, tries to get the ball to Huey. Huey was being well fouled there, well dragged out of, and he kept control of the ball and gives it back with the referee holding play up. And number 7, Christopher Mugwire, just looking to readjust the boot, but Morris Deegan paying for a bit of time. Stephen O'Connell not making himself making himself a bit of a nuisance in staying very close to the ball, but Athy have moved it on very quickly. McGovern took that ball into Gibbons, still floating it, but it's a poor opportunity there. Maybe a little bit rushed, TJ. They could have, be a little bit more patient, especially playing with the wind.
Yeah, Liam had the ball there and he created a bit of space for himself and maybe could have looked up and tried to feed someone inside, but whether he was off balance or slipped a small bit, he just seemed to go a bit wayward, and Sean Rowland doing his best there just couldn't reach up high enough to get the ball. And as you said, another chance gone a begging, and they're going to, hopefully they won't have to count on these, but they're going to have to try and be more effective when attacking.
Right, well, the ball comes all the way out here to the sideline, pulled by the wind. Trying to pick it up was David Hyland, but it is a sideline ball for Athy, and Hyland plays that ball quickly to Mihal Fenley. Fenley well accustomed to playing the full forward line, of course, out playing midfield today. Tries to release Sean Ronan. Ronan gets on the ball. Oh, lovely skip inside. Ronan now is 1-on-1 with the keeper. Has he an opportunity? Took the shot. It's still there. Going to be a pull on the ball there by Michael Keogh, but the goalkeeper was on the ground. But Keogh still has the ball. Offloads it outside to Niall Kelly. Skips inside, right foot. Dropping on top of Rycroft. It's going to be one out, is it? Rycroft didn't know what to do with it. He's held up by 2 at Hyman, and he eventually gets it out here to his cornerback, Thomas Mooney. Mooney with the hair flowing in the breeze, of course, skips the ball down to McPadden. McPadden tries to release it off towards his full forward Donald Hickey, but Hickey is well beaten there by Luke Thomas. Good display there by a full back, a nice bit of skill. Tries to set loose Niall Kelly. Niall Kelly was trying to get free, but he was tripped by James McPadden, and it's a free in for Niall Kelly. Plenty of excitement there in the last couple of minutes. Sean Rowan, a lovely skip inside, but it was the cornerback Conor McNamee getting back to force the block, but then Roycroft didn't know what to do with the ball and eventually worked it out, but a high pressure and good skill by Luke Thomas, you have to say. I know sometimes a full back wouldn't often get credit for a bit of skill, but a lovely bit of skill to get inside the full forward Donald Hickey of Rhode, to get it down to Niall Kelly. Kelly was tripped, and here's the free now for McGovern as we see the rainbow out over Carlow Town as Athy continue to lead by 5 points to 3. 11.5 minutes or thereabouts remaining here in the first half. Imagine a bit of time. Oh, McGovern, lovely kick, floated towards the post, over the bar. What a score by Liam McGovern, fully about 40 metres out, but the pull on that kick must have been the guts of nearly 55 metres or thereabouts, and he pulled it in lovely and just sneaked inside the post. So Athy go into a 6-3 lead, 11 minutes or so to go on the clock here at the ground, but I'd imagine about a minute and a half or thereabouts of injury time definitely to be played as Rycroft takes the kick again. He's floating a lot now this direction, and this could be to Athy's advantage, but Rhode get the break on that one. Coming out with the ball is the number 5 again, James McPadden. I thought he was looked to have overplayed it and fouled, but he gets the free and plays it on inside to Stephen O'Connell. O'Connell plays it back to McPadden, and now to Thomas Mooney. Mooney tries to get inside the Athy lads there, and Tony Gibbons trying to get his foot on the ball and in there getting a bit of help as well, but McGovern tried to pick it up, but he wasn't able to get his hands on it, and it's picked up by Thomas Dowling. Dowling back playing his half back line, gives it to his centre back Stephen Hannon. Hannon across the field now, gives it to O'Connell. O'Connell gives it back, and on the run now are Rhode, and that's the corner back Thomas Mooney. Mooney tries to get it inside to McPadden. McPadden toes the ball out here, trying to pick it up again is Donald Hickey. Hickey tries to get a shot at goal, but it looks like it came off. A time man did it. Trying to get it there was the Rhode corner forward, but the ball has gone out over the end line. I think has been judged as a wide ball, and maybe a missed opportunity there for Rhode. Into the sunshine here at Páirc Uí Briain, and James Rycroft is going to take this kick out. So Rycroft now on the ball, looking for maybe take a short one, but I think the lads are looking for him to go long, use the advantage of the wind, but he pulls it over to the right hand side, and it was well cut out there, and it looks like it was John Bricklin trying to get in on it there with McPadden coming for the ball, but it's well read there by the Athy backs and well judged by Wesley Clare, and he takes the ball quickly and gives it to Barry Purcell. Purcell now right footed ball down the far side towards Niall Kelly. Kelly shows well, crosses in over into the road half now, and still go on the ball, and again fouled by David Hyland, and you'd wonder about the referee maybe producing a card there, or I should say James McPadden, sorry, mixing up my number 5s, but fouled again by McPadden. Should have been given, I think at this stage, a bit of a ticking from the referee, but anyway, Athy are on the ball, and it's Killian Mulhall. Mulhall gives it outside now to David Hyland. Hyland left footed ball, dropping it in. Is it going to go anywhere though? It's pulled to the left and wide, and again maybe a little bit overzealous with the shooting, maybe relying too much on the wind, and it's still 6-3 with just under 9 minutes gone, as Paul Coates now comes to take this kick out. And as you heard from TJ earlier on, a man who has a significant kick out, but we haven't seen a whole lot of it so far due to the wind. The wind seems to have dropped now a little bit, and here he comes, right footed ball, dropping down now on top of the head of David Hyland, but Hyland though flicked it down into the direction of Hughie Mann. Mann gives it back to Hyland, and now he plays a dinky little ball into the corner towards Michael Keogh. Keogh trying to get on the ball, but it's won by the Rhode corner back, and he gets the free and has time to look around and play this ball out, giving it to the corner back Thomas Mooney. Mooney gives it outside to the number 12 Cathal Nolan, but Nolan loses it, and Athy are on the march again here with this ball. Going down along the sideline is Gibbons. Gibbons right footed ball in at top of Ronan. Ronan though looked to have been pushed off the ball. In fact, Keelan Bulger in there, and it's won again by Rhode, and the play it up, but well cut out there by Sean Ronan. Right footed ball now towards the goal. Micheál Fenley, great score. It was Niall Kelly getting the interception, and it just goes to show you there, TJ, an opportunity where Athy, missed an opportunity, but they didn't give up, won the ball back, and it's put over the bar. Great score by Micheál Fenley.
Yeah, that's it, and it's been a characteristic of this team, never say die, to keep working hard, and as you've seen there, it seemed the chances seemed to go begging, but Niall Kelly, as you've seen, intercepted the ball that was going across the field, and Micheál Fenley confidently picked up and struck straight between the posts, and took no second chances about it, and really drilled it home for a tie, which has extended the lead to 7 points to 3 at the moment. Yeah, well, they feel they might need another one. A good shot at goal. David O'Toole, has that one gone all the way over the bar? It has, from the outside of his left foot. Hell of a score there, and maybe it's just something Athy need to do now to open a bit of a gap before half time. Yeah, that's it, and as you see there, David O'Toole was just like Micheál Fenley, picked up and made no qualms about it, and took a shot, and maybe that's what they need to do, just take their chances and take a few risks, and hopefully it'll pay off. With a gap of 5 points here now and about 5 minutes left, they seem to be maybe getting a grip on the game, but as you know, that means nothing at this stage. No, very early stages, but well done there by David Hyland. Won that free, you'd have to say, orchestrated very well, then took the free himself, gave it to Niall Kelly. Kelly, the meat in the sandwich there of two Rhode men, and
I think Morris Deegan appealing for a bit of calm there, and is going to bring the ball in, because I have to say a very unusual reaction by Stephen O'Connell. I think he threw the boot at Niall Kelly a little bit, and Morris Deegan didn't have a word with him, but he brought the ball in 13 metres, so this is a little bit more kickable now for McGovern. And O'Connell continues to remonstrate with the referee as to why he was given the free, but I think it's clear as day as to why. But McGovern going to take this now. He's on the top of the D, straight in front of the goal. And if he takes it as fine as the 2 scores he has today, this should be over the bar. Left foot of ball, Liam McGovern straight between the posts. And that little spell now that Athy have had there in the last couple of minutes, TJ, proving vital before the break.
Yeah, it's going to give them a bit of a tailwind as they go into the half-time break, you know, and it'll be on Rhode's mind that they did maybe let it tie back into it in the last spell, last 5 minutes. And Rhode will probably try now for the last 3 or 4 minutes, try and work some sort of a score out for themselves, and here we see them coming forward again, which we know they're well capable to do.
With Athy on the attack again, 9 points to 3, Athy lead here at Park Ivrian. Morris Deegan's going to throw the ball up, but Michael Keogh maybe was fouled in that situation, but well, referee wasn't going to make a decision, so he decides to throw it in, and Bricklin wins that ball there. Big strong individual in the middle of the field, as I said to you, has a bit of a go at Tony Gibbons, and Gibbons gives him a bit of a speak back, but Morris Deegan going to give the free to Rhode. Rhode need to work something, you would feel, before half time, and because of the bit of lip there, I'm not sure he has the right man in Micheál Fenley, but anyway, ball has been moved forward 13, and all help to Rhode as Stephen O'Connell tries to play this ball now in the direction of Paul McPadden. McPadden is out in front of Wesley Clare, and he gets it there, and running inside is Philip Foy, but McPadden now needs to look up. Gibson Sky Clare, hand passes the ball off to Foy. Foy looking around now onto the left foot, needs to get back onto that foot if he wants to have a shot at goal. Gives it outside to O'Connell. O'Connell inside now to Carl Nolan. Nolan looks outside again and sees another Rhode player come up. A great block there. Cian Donoghue was blocked down. Athy trying to get on it. Killian Mulhall is in there, but getting away is the Rhode corner forward now. Slips the ball in. This could be a dangerous opportunity. Looked at throwing the ball. He fouled it, and it was well marshalled there by the Athy defence. Looked a bit dodgy once he got inside, but he fouled the ball, and that was down to the pressure.
Exactly, that's it, and we've seen it at the foot forward. Donald Hickey there for the first time in the match, using his strength to bulldoze through, and took 2 men with him, but eventually passed off to McPadden, who fouled the ball, but it was a very dangerous move there. Athy could have been paying for that, but they sorted it out, and you see James Roycroft starting it off again for them after a lucky escape. Yeah,
Roycroft gets it underway and gives it to Barry Purcell. Purcell now down the field, and this ball is played in by David O'Toole. O'Toole tried to find Keelan Bulger, but the break might still work out. Kelly's on the ball now, right footed shot towards the goal. He was fouled after it. He's pulled it though, I think, to the right and wide. The umpire's taking his time to come out and make a decision, but the ball has flashed to the right and wide. Maybe an opportunity there for a free after the ball. He looked to have been fouled, but Morris Deegan allowing the play to go, and there's about 3.5 minutes remaining. Athy continue to lead in this Leinster Minor Football Tournament final here, organised by Éire Óg club in Carlow, by 9 points to 3. Up against Rhode of Offaly, of course, they're senior footballers, well known and established within the county of Offaly, and of course within Leinster, have competed in Leinster finals against Kilmacud Crokes 2 years ago, and will be against Kilmacud in a couple of weeks' time as well in the senior tournament. They're minor champions of Offaly for the 2nd year in a row, but Athy, of course, 3 in a row in Kildare, and looking to claim this title after losing in the final to Nafina last year. But the ball played across by David Hyland, very intelligent play to Purcell, and Hyland gets it back. Right footed ball now, trying to find Ronan. It could hop favoured him. No, it didn't, and the road man comes out. Looked to have been fouled there, and he wins the free and gives it to his number 12, Cathal Nolan. Back doing an awful lot of help. He sees to play an awful lot of ball back around the half back line and gives it to O'Connell. O'Connell now, right footed ball in the direction of McPadden, but McPadden has 2 Athy men for company, and Mulhall gets in there and wins that ball well. Pushed in the back, I thought, but the referee allows play on. Wesley Clare eventually gets to grips with it and comes outside. Needs to offload it now, you would feel, and Purcell there giving him the option. Still well tackled there, and good defence by Athy, but also good pressure by Rhode, and the ball is still in the hands of Purcell, and breaking out now are Athy, and this could be a good uplift now if they were to go down the field and get the score. Ball is played by Hughie Mann, should be a free from where it lands, and again O'Connell getting involved in an altercation. And there's a Rhode man down injured as well. Not sure what the situation was there. Referee has been called back, but he doesn't even see it. And I don't know whether that involved from anything kind of tussle with the Athy lads. Maybe it did. But an awful lot going on at the moment. It's a very physical encounter, TJ.
It is indeed, and I think that was one of the first moments where we've seen a bit of bite in the game. You know, James McPadden is up forward there, and for the first time in the game, he got a bit of a jostle there off Killian Mulhall, and we've seen here is a late challenge by O'Connell here, and I think Maurice Deegan is going to have a word, and it's the second or third time he's come in late like that, and doesn't seem to think he's done anything wrong. You know, someone's going to get hurt, but it's good to see a bit of bite in the game and something physical. You know, two evenly matched teams here. No team is bigger than the other really in any position, so it should be a good ding-dong match. Lads getting stuck into each other, you know, proper good football.
Yeah, because McPadden has been causing Wesley a bit of hassle, so maybe it was good that Mulhall got in and let him know that they're around.
Exactly, and I seen there the ball went into McPadden, and it was actually Mulhall who picked up McPadden, and Wesley Clare stood off as a sort of a sweeper role. It's switched back at the moment, but we've seen how it worked that time. Killian Mulhall won the ball and gave McPadden a bit of a jostle, let him know he's in the game, you know.
Right, well, the referee has come all the way back to sort out the situation here. He's having a bit of a word with some of the injured parties. There was an Athy man down, I see, receiving a bit of attention, a Rhode man down as well. The Rhode crowd appealing for Maurice Deegan to have a word, I think, with somebody, but Thomas Dowling anyway back up and running again, and I think is gesticulating at one of the Athy lads with regards to something that went on there, so it could be interesting to see if that will reinvent itself at some stage. But the ball has been brought forward anyway for Athy. 13-metre ball after O'Connell again, where we count, I think, the third time that he's gone in late on a Athy player. But Liam McGovern now has the opportunity, standing on the 45-metre line. He's about 10 metres out from the right-hand post, I should say. Flights it towards goal. Dangerous ball, but the Rhode lads looked to have judged that well. Thought Keelan Bulger could have muscled himself in and around there and got on top of that ball, but the ball played out on the far side, and winning the race there, Philip Foy beats Micheál Fenley, and looked like it had gone out over the line on the far side, and that it has eventually, and Foy kicks the ball away in a bit of disgust. He had a number of opportunities to pick it up, but Athy are going to have this sideline ball, and time is now into injury time, we make it here. So Maurice Deegan won't have much, I'd say, left to play. We reckon about a minute, maybe a minute and a half was lost down to the injury very early on in the game, so we have about 30 seconds of that to play. So possibly the last opportunity of this half for Athy to pick up another score. 9 points to 3 it is then here at Páirc Uí Bhríon, and it's Niall Kelly now with this ball about 30 metres out on the railway side here of the pitch in Carlow. Comes with this right-footed ball, lovely strike of it, coming across the goal, could be dangerous. Referee judges though they're in the square, and it's going to be a free out for Rhode that goalkeeper Paul Coates is going to take, and he takes it quickly out of his hand. Could he put himself in a bit of trouble though? Offloaded by Rhode, they're a little bit tight back here, but there goes the half-time whistle, and Thomas Mooney sees the last of it, and we weren't too bad on the time there. He played a minute of injury time in the game, so Athy going in leading by 9 points to 3. TJ, just looking back on the game, you know, Athy bell there at about 22-23 minutes gone, where Athy kind of kicked 3 points in 2 minutes, all vital.
Vital, and as you said, they did get off to a good start there, playing ball into Keelan Bulger, and he was the main man. They're playing in towards full forward line, but Owen Melvin there, full back for Rhode, we know he's a good player, and he seemed to have got cute to it. He's won the last 2 or 3 balls that have gone in there. Athy have had to change their style of football. We've seen Liam McGovern maybe spraying the ball across the field instead of kicking directly in that spell, as you said, where they scored about 3 points in 2 minutes. Liam McGovern himself with a free kick. Micheál Fenley we've seen took a chance, took a risk. He's playing at midfield and kicked it straight between the posts, and David O'Toole following by example, leading and coming up from wing back to kick the ball straight between the posts. And it's the difference at the end of the first half. 9 points to 3. 6 points is a commanding lead. You know, Rhode are going to have to work hard to get back at it and get themselves in charge, but it's not undoable. That wind could be behind them. Never won anybody a game, but we've seen it had made a difference to Athy. They're kicking in long into the full forwards. We've seen James McPadden for Rhode is very effective, so they're going to be looking for him every time, whether it's Killian Hall, Wesley Clare or Luke Thomas who's marking him. He's the danger man, I think, for them at the moment.
The Wind, of course, as you mentioned, never won anyone a game, but that 6 point lead now, significant enough. Do you think you'll see much of a change of Athy and their tactics maybe in the second half?
Well, no, you know, it's big Shane Purcell on the sideline there, and the good advice from Joe Robinson, Joe Kelly and Eugene O'Toole and Tony Gibbons and Pat Considine. They wouldn't be meant to change things too much, you know, don't fix it if it's not broken. They're 9 points to 3 up at the moment, but you know, it's a Leinster final. Sometimes things have to be changed to make a difference in the game, especially it depends on how Rhode come out. I think knowing the way Athy played all year, they won't change unless Rhode change, unless they need to combat something Rhode are doing. You know, what Athy are doing at the moment is effective, as you can see on the scoreboard. Unless Rhode change their own tune, Athy might have to change for that, but I can't see too many changes coming at the moment, to be honest with you, Killian. I think they're probably going to, next 10 minutes in the second half, they're going to see how it goes, I'd say.
Now, we're not being too biased about it, but finally it looks like, you know, Athy, in the situation that they are in, it's theirs effectively to win, or it's theirs to lose.
Exactly, you know, and it's up to the 15 men on the team or any subs that do come in. They've opened up themselves, worked hard to get themselves the lead, and it's up to them to keep it or to extend it, or as you said, lose it, you know. And they won't want to. They've won the minor championship in Kildare 3 years in a row, but that means nothing here today. You know, they're out on the pitch there against 15 strong, equal, good footballers of Rhode, County Offaly. So they're going to have to work hard to keep it, but there's no doubt they could come very close to losing it, if not losing. We don't want to be biased, but we do have to be honest at the same time. The Rhode are a very good team, and they showed glimpses of it there in the first half, and no doubt they'll try and want to show more in the second half. But Athy are in a commanding lead at the moment.
Okay, well there you have it, the views then of TJ Clare here at half-time in the Leinster Minor Football Tournament organised by Rhode. It's Athy that lead by 9 points to 3. To the beginning of the second half then here at Park Green. Just waiting for Strably man Morris Deegan to get the watches in sync with one another and get up and running here for the second half, and we're up and started. And Athy are on the ball quickly, Liam McGovern, and we would imagine that if we could get an early score here for Athy, it might well put the nail in the Rhode coffin, but well, they're Offaly men and they'll keep fighting all the way to the end, I would imagine. But going in there rather recklessly was the Rhode back, and Tony Gibbons gets himself to free, but it's taken quickly by McGovern down into the corner, tried to be picked up there by Sean Ronan, I think it was, but ball has been won back again by Rhode, and burst out of defence out, and it's McPadden I think on the ball. He looks to have been fouled, and Stephen Hannon, Thomas Mooney also there, men that were on an awful lot of ball in the first half for Rhode, and it's played out to Cathal Nolan, who, as he said, plays in the half forwards, but there's an awful lot of moving around in the half back line, and Rhode go on the attack, and it's a dangerous ball and he needs to get a hand to it, and taken down Donald Hickey. Bit of a slack play there by the Athy backside, was taken off the ball a bit by Killian Mulhall, but had to possibly commit that foul.
I think he did, yeah. I don't know, maybe the ball got caught in the sun there and here in Rhode, but he did have to try and do something about that. I thought, to be honest now, it looked 50-50. I thought the Rhode man had his arm around Killian as well, but as you can see, the man in the middle, Morris Deegan, has made his decision, and it should be a nice free now for Stephen O'Connell, who we've seen has been a bit fiery, but apparently is well known for his free kick taking.
Okay, well, we wait and see how we go then. 9 points to 3, make that 9 points to 4. Delicate little chip. I wonder, was he taking tips off a man in Clara called Shane Lowry, because he played it like a sandwich there, put that ball over the bar. 9 points to 4, and we're up and going here in the second half, and maybe what Athy needed Rhode after getting, well, Rhode possibly needed it more, but I felt the momentum, if Athy were to keep it, score would be vital. But kick out comes from James Roycroft, picked up by David O'Toole. O'Toole had a point to his name in the first half, gives it to Sean Ronan. Ronan right footed ball down along the wing. No one made the run, but still going after this David O'Toole, committed to the cause. Ducked down was David Hyland. Didn't see the free in that, but Morris Deegan anyway gives the benefit to Hyland, and the free going to be taken by Philip Foy. Foy left footed ball down the wing here on the dressing room side to Christopher Maguire. Maguire has plenty of company from Sean Ronan and tries to get to Philip Foy. Foy looked to have stepped out over the sideline, and the official here on this side gives the sideline ball to Athy, which McGovern looks like he's going to take. Plenty of Athy lads moving around now looking for the ball. McGovern needing a bit of space. Ball, McGovern judging that, does he think it's a bit soft, but when the Rhode officials anyway said it's okay, McGovern continues on, looking for someone to make a move. Oh, good run and good spot. There is a good sensible move by Barry Purcell to keep that ball going, and here go Athy now trying to get on the ball again. Up around is Keelan Bulger. Bulger tries to release the ball, but plenty of Rhode men there. No Athy men help him out, and out come Rhode with the ball again, and bursting on the attack is James McPadden, as we've seen in the first half. A very dangerous operator, wearing the blue Predators and not afraid to launch with a bit of a score as well. And it's O'Connell that's on the ball, seems to do an awful lot of dictating around the field, I have to say. Tries to flight that ball down in the direction of John Bricklin, who was midfield, lining out there at full forward to try and catch that ball. Maybe there's a bit of a tactical change then on the behalf of Rhode, and Rhode are on the ball, and it's still Bricklin now, right-footed the ball down into the direction of his full forward Donald Hickey. Hickey didn't get a whole lot of the ball in the first half, and he's been robbed again, and this time Killian Mulhall takes that ball away well and gives it to McGovern. McGovern looks for David O'Toole to go and support. O'Toole goes with a very high challenge, and again it's O'Connell, and you would feel this time he has to go on the book. And TJ, we noted him in the first half, and he's definitely fairly fiery.
Definitely, without a doubt. I think we know that 3 times he was caught in the foul and late tackles in the first half. And as you see there, a very, very high challenge on David O'Toole. Very dangerous at any level of football. And Maurice Deegan, being as professional as possible, is going to deal with that in the books as he should be.
But good movement there as well, you'd have to say, by David O'Toole, committed to the ball and winning the free.
Exactly, and that's what you have to do here. You know, at Rhode, we're changing our tactics a small bit. They're kicking it along to 2 big men in there, Donald Hickey and John Bricklin. But as you said, O'Toole was strong and eventually earned himself a free.
Right, well, they're on the attack again now. Rhode through Stephen Hannon. Hannon offloads the ball to the number 12, Cathal Nolan. Nolan again into the corner forward, and still going is Hannon. Hannon toe pokes the ball, but it should be simple enough for James Rycroft. Rycroft comes out, and McGovern always offering up. Have to say, one of the talents that I love about this particular player, in that he's always willing to show for the ball, giving support, and especially for his goalkeeper. But the ball moving in Athy hands, it looked to be a foul there, but Maurice Deegan waves play on, and Tony Gibbons could feel aggrieved there by Deegan. I think in the first half as well, he felt he could have had a free, but Deegan didn't give it to him. But it's Rhode back on the attack. Paul McPadden now has a point to his name in the first half. He tries to get inside Wesley Clare. Still has the ball going in now along the end line. He's in past Clare, but Clare gets in the proper hand to turn him and divert him back out to Christopher Maguire. Maguire has a shot at goal. Rycroft gets up with the hand. Opportunity there for Rhode, but well done, James Rycroft. Strong underneath the high ball there, and anyway the player was in the square, but he had to be coming out there and big and strong try and win that.
Did indeed. One of the most important characteristics you have with your goalkeeper. We said that Paul Coates for Rhode is a huge kick out. We haven't seen much of it yet, but there Rycroft is very strong, came out and claimed his area, you know, the small square around the goals, earned himself a free and a fist of the ball out as well. A good strong keeper is what every team needs.
Okay, the Athy backs work this well, and the ball is moved out, and it's Luke Thomas is on the ball looking for support play, and it's McGovern. McGovern gets onto the bounce, breaks into the Rhode half now, left-footed ball, he plays it to Sean Ronan. Ronan is involved there with Huey Mann back to McGovern, has the shot, maybe a bit ambitious you would have to feel, coming in from the left side with the left foot, especially into that missed opportunity there, but good movement off the ball involving Huey Mann and Lee McGovern, but it's a wide for Athy, the first wide of the second half. 9 points to 4 it is for Rhode. Athy haven't kicked too many wides, I'd have to say, in the whole game, but well, again, you want to be minding possession, you'd have to feel, and there's 4 overall. Thanks TJ on that. That Athy have in this game, their first of the second half, as the kick out came from Paul Coates, and it's out to the middle of the field, and it's Bricklin that's on the ball. Well, in fact, it's O'Connell that's on the ball, giving it to Bricklin from a distance to look very similar, and looks to foul Luke Thomas going down in that ball, and it's well judged there by Maurice Deegan, and definitely a tactical change, TJ, quickly there on Rhode's front, because they've moved Bricklin now into full forward.
Definitely, without a doubt. I think they're playing Bricklin in full forward, and Donald Hickey seem to be the 2-pronged full forward line for them, big strong men. As we said at half time, if it's high we're going to have to make changes, it will be because Rhode make changes, but so far they're coping well. You know, they have McPadden is floating around the 2 big men in front, so a very significant tactical change you'd feel with 2 big men up there ready to cause danger.
Right, well, Barry Purcell took that free, played it up to Michael Keogh. Keogh tried to get into Keelan Bulger, but Bulger, well, he was stopped from getting to the ball by Thomas Mooney, and outcome Rhode is, well, we have a bit of a sun shower falling here now at Park Ivreen, and Rhode come out with the ball, and it's James McPadden. Padden with a point to his name in the first half, gives the ball to Hannon. Hannon, right-footed ball up on the clouds a little bit. It's going to carry to the sideline, you would feel, asking an awful lot of the other McPadden, Paul, to get to that, and Athy have this sideline ball. And Rhode, TJ, guilty maybe of overdoing the ball in the first couple of minutes.
Exactly, they're definitely, since the commencement of the second half, they've had more of the ball and maybe could have done a lot more with it. They've got a few more scores on the board, as you see there, a bit of a wayward kick going out over the sideline, which gives a tight possession again.
Kelly is on the ball now. Great ball up along from David O'Toole, gives it to Kelly. Kelly comes back outside on the 20-metre line. Right-footed ball over the bar, would you believe? Went up and up. We lost it. But the ball was played up by David O'Toole to Niall Kelly. Skipped inside. The Spears, as you heard him say, it looked like the ball was gone wide. People asking what was he doing, and next thing the ball dropped and dropped and dropped over the crossbar. Great score from Niall Kelly, talented young man, as we move on in this second half of the action here in this Leinster minor football tournament. And there's 9 minutes gone here at Park Ivreen in Carlow. And we're just looking around now whether Rhode thinking of making any changes. I don't see any changes at Athy. It's quite settled at the moment. But Stephen O'Connell already with a point in this first half, going to take this free as the rain gets in on the notes a little bit. Strange weather we've been having here within the province over the last 24 hours. Snow in some parts, I believe 2 inches of snow fell in Rhode last night, but they showed the determination to be here because Páirc Uí Bhríon was playable, and Stephen O'Connell has flighted that free over the bar, and that makes the score now double scores, 10 points to 5, just coming up on 10 minutes gone in this second half. So James Roycroft places the ball, hasn't had too many kick-outs, and Athy using the tactic that Rhode did, but he kicked that ball way too strong for David O'Toole. O'Toole wasn't ready for it, and the ball has gone out over the sideline now on the 20-metre line here on the dressing room side. And I think it's one of the Athy mentors is behind the goal down there to Roycroft, telling him just to continue doing obviously what he's doing, but maybe not to put as much power behind it. And that has kind of resulted now in Athy being under a bit of pressure. Wesley Clare has committed the foul, and it looks like Paul McPadden is going to take this free. And TJ, they're employing that tactic of trying to take the kick out, so it's not coming out to the middle, it's not being held up by the wind, but put him under a bit of pressure there.
Exactly, we've seen Rhode do it in the first half, but that time James Roycroft's right and just pulled it out to the left a bit too far. David O'Toole couldn't get to it, went out over the sideline, eventually putting Athy under pressure and leading to this free that McPadden is going to kick here now.
But Paul McPadden puts it up on the wind and floats it lovely, judged it very well. 10 points to 6 now, so Rhode will consider themselves back in the game because they've kicked the last 2 scores, and maybe now just a little bit of a tightening up of that tactic if they're going to employ the short kick out or the kick to the wing to avoid the breeze, or the strong breeze anyway, that's flowing down the field here at Páirc Uí Bhríon. Well, they're going to have to be a bit more in tune with it. But anyway, Roycroft goes for the more conventional route this time, tried to be flicked on by Micheál Fennelly, but Rhode are on the attack now and building very strongly from the centre factor of the field, but looks to have overplayed that ball was McPadden, and referee Maurice Deegan relieves Athy a little bit of the pressure that they were coming under there, because there was definitely 3 Rhode men on the attack, and there was a bit of an overlap. But here go Athy now up along this side. David O'Toole loves to play the ball with the outside the left foot in the top of Niall Kelly. Kelly gets up and wins it, looked at being pushed, gets the jersey tug, but he's still going, still pulled back, getting in inside to Gibbons. Gibbons has Keelan Bulger inside. Bulger now, couldn't control the ball, back to Sean Ronan. Ronan to Niall Kelly, up on the clouds again, right foot, pulls it towards the post, but this time it goes to the right and wide. Opportunity for Bulger, but maybe, the fact he hasn't been in the game recently, just a little bit off it.
Exactly, he hasn't been in the game in a while with an injury, but even now with the break over Christmas and the poor weather, everybody's been out, and he just spilled the ball there. He was straight through on goal. Well, not straight through, had a defender there, but you'd feel he might have done a bit more if he got it into his hands.
Anyway, the ball was pulled to the right and wide. 10 points to 6 it is then here as Rhode come out in the attack again, but that's well done by Micheál Fennelly. Fennelly playing midfield today, of course, because Kevin Feely not here as he's injured. Well, he is here, but not playing on the field, of course, because of an injury, and Micheál deputising, you have to say, fairly well and getting up and winning that ball. But Rhode have it back here now in their possession through Christopher Maguire. Maguire, though, well held up by Niall Kelly, has to go backwards to his full back Owen Rigney. Rigney comes out now to Thomas Dowling, who's back helping out, and gives it to Cathal Nolan. Nolan over on the railway side here, gives it to O'Connell. O'Connell gets on an awful lot of ball, you would have to say, and directs a lot of it, but back standing in the hole is David O'Toole. Very impressive second half from David O'Toole so far, and outside to Sean Ronan. Ronan back to O'Toole. O'Toole in a bit of space, has Gibbons outside him if he wants, and that he gives it to. Ronan has gone on a bit of a run, but Gibbons heads back with the ball and gives it to David Hyland. Hyland now comes back inside with the ball, has a chance to give it to O'Toole again. Niall Kelly on a bit of a bill, tries to play the ball again, but winning the ball then again is Hyland. Hyland now back outside to McGovern. McGovern looks to burst through. Bit of a sandwich there. The referee Maurice Deegan adjudges that it was in the back, and McGovern wins the free. And another opportunity here for Athy to build on something. McGovern getting himself together there. A very physical tussle between the 2 Rhode men and McGovern, and a free now about 40 metres out or thereabouts here, as McGovern has this chance with the sun now slipping in behind the clouds. Might help him. He floats the ball over into the corner forward position, where trying to get it is Michael Keogh, and picking the ball up are Athy, but Hughie Mann was adjudged to have overplayed the ball by Maurice Deegan, and that would have been a score, because I think it did go over the crossbar. But Rhode come on the attack again, and down along the far side now trying to play Brickland. Brickland now scoops the ball up, gives it off to the number 9, Philip Foy. Donald Hickey also involved there for Rhode, and now Brickland is on the ball again, but getting in a good tackle there was David Hyland's come on to an awful lot of ball in the last 5 minutes here. Breaking out was Luke Thomas on the sideline. Highland there again looked to have been tripped by the Rhode player, but the referee allows play to go on, and Gibbons gets in on his knees, picks the ball up. What's the referee judging here to have happened? I don't know. Looks like it might be a tie free, is it? And he's having words with a couple of players and also with some of the mentors on the sideline. Is he going to throw the ball in? I don't think he's made any clear indication yet. But Maurice Deegan is waiting for the free, and I think there's a change on the Athy side. It looks like Wesley Clare has gone to the dugout. A bit of a change all around now. We'll judge how things turn out in the next couple of minutes, but Pascal Connell is on the field and he gets his hands on the ball and offloads it very well to McGovern. McGovern now, left-footed ball, tried to play it in, but Rhode the judge have been fouling a Thai man inside, well spotted by Maurice Deegan. He was about 30 metres away from that action, was looking straight ahead, and Keelan Bulger was being fouled by Luke Thomas, or I should say Owen Rigney, and this is going to be a free in for Athy. So well spotted Deegan. Maybe opportunity again here. McGovern going to take this. Very sweet kicker of the ball. Deegan marks the spot. So, thou shalt not pass. He basically says to Liam McGovern as he comes up to this. Hops the ball a couple of times. No messing around. Left footed ball over the bar. Good score from Liam McGovern. And again, helps Athy move on. 11 points to 6. And there's just over quarter ways here in this second half. It could be a vital score yet. Lifts a bit of a siege from Rhode, who really have had a lot of possession in the second half but haven't done a whole lot with it, and that's down to the tenacity of a lot of the Athy players out here, and especially the half back line, who've played very well since this second half began. But Rhode are on the attack now, and it's through Cathal Nolan. Nolan down along the wing to McPadden. McPadden has the jersey tested by Killian Mulhall, and it's a free in. Maybe a simple one to give away. McPadden keeps the ball moving, tries to send it into Cathal Nolan, but winning the ball instead is Philip Foy. Foy comes across, tries to get it back out to Nolan. Tackle there again, and here's O'Connell on the ball, is it? Tries to get back inside. It's in fact Donald Hickey. Hickey puts the head down, gives it back outside, and Nolan picks this ball up. Look to have taken a bit of a slip there under pressure from David O'Toole. Athy look to have won the ball, and well done Tony Gibbons in there helping out. And on the attack now, Micheál Fenley. Fenley has a bit of time to look up, gives it to Hughie Mann. Mann has a few lads gone outside him, but he holds on to the ball, looks up for Niall Kelly, skips the ball in that direction. Kelly gets up and wins it ahead of McPadden, but skips away from him, and Christopher Maguire gets a bit of a touch on it, and picking it up for Rhode is Thomas Dowling. Dowling down on top of the head of McPadden, but a good tackle there by Purcell, and looked to have won the possession, but the referee had judged him to have touched the ball on the ground, and he gives the free to Rhode, taken quickly, but he orders the free to be moved up 13 metres because the Athy man was in the way, and it's a free for Rhode now with 12 and a half minutes remaining. And Maurice Deegan just having a little bit of word with Tony Gibbons. Obviously Gibbons wondering what is the situation, and here goes O'Connell again. The man, as we said, has a bit of a fiery temperament, has a yellow card, has kicked a couple of scores and gets on an awful lot of ball and tries to direct the way Rhode are going. Obviously sees himself as a senior player of note in the future. Maybe modelling himself on the likes of Niall McNamee or Anton Sullivan, but he plays a low ball in, doesn't work out for McPadden, gets stuck in a bit of the mud there on the 13-metre line, and well done Athy coming out with the ball, and it's the sub, of course, that it's just come on, Pascal Connell, who gets that ball and relieves the pressure, and this could be all important now for Athy as Tony Gibbons builds on just on the road. 45 now, skips inside his man, lovely on his left foot, then onto his right, back onto his left, onto his right again, he's still going, and Gibbons, excellent bit of play by Tony Gibbons, wins himself the free, took the hit, but you could see it coming. It was all about getting possession and maybe winning the free and relieving again a bit of the pressure off the Athy backs. So 11 points to 6 and 11 and a half minutes remaining. This Leinster Minor Football Tournament final eventually getting to be played here at Páirc Uí Bhríon in Carlow, which due to be played early December, but with the weather, the changes in it and everything, and the exams, I believe, for Rhode and players and all that kind of stuff, the game eventually gets to be played today. And here goes McGovern. Not great sportsman behaviour by Rhode, running in front of him there, and Maurice Deegan didn't stop that, but dropped into the hands of Paul Coates, and the ball worked out now by Rhode. Maybe, hopefully not a missed opportunity, and a very, very stupid thing to do there. Tony Gibbons right into the back of the player. Don't know what he was going to try and achieve there. Maybe he thought when he was committing to the challenge that he was going to be shoulder to shoulder, but from here there was no doubt it was going to be right into the back of the Rhode player, and he's now going to find himself, I think, getting a yellow card. So TJ, really not a great decision to make there.
No, he had the Rhode man was facing his own goal with the ball, and Tony might have been better off to stand up and let him turn and then to challenge him. But as you've seen, there was no doubt about it. He challenged the man in the back, and Morris, after the hefty challenge, decided he was going to brand Tony Gibbons with a yellow card.
So Rhode come out on the attack now. It's Owen Rigney. Rigney plays the ball to his midfielder Philip Foy. Foy skips inside McGovern now. Left-footed ball across the field, trying to bring into play O'Connell. O'Connell right-footed ball, then further down the field into Donald Hickey. Hickey tries to get there. He's ahead of Sean Rowan, I think, who's back now in his defence. And Athy go to win the ball, but he touched it on the ground, says Morris Deegan. Hughie Mann. Athy crowd are not happy with that decision, but the Rhode going to have this free. And is O'Connell going to take it? And he does. Right-footed ball across the field to his number 13, Thomas Dowling. Dowling gets inside with the ball now and offloads it. Shot at goal from O'Connell. Right foot. Good score, I think, from the Rhode man. That's a good score indeed. 11 points to 7. And getting that little bit tighter now coming into the last 10 minutes, TJ.
It is indeed, Darren. We see a man who has been hot and cold throughout the game. Stephen O'Connell stepping up to the plate there and putting the ball between the posts. But without a doubt, a half-time lead for Athy, 9 points to 3. Whittled down, and as we might have suggested, Rhode had come out a different team and are really putting it up to a tie here in the last couple of minutes. 9 minutes are going to be really exciting here in Éire Óg.
Yeah, well, it's all about possession now for Athy, as Cathal Nolan is replaced on the Rhode team, and it looks like number 17 William Malloy has come in there. Rhode don't have too many subs here today, but well, maybe they don't need them. But Athy anyway have made one change, and they're on the burst here now, and getting on the ball is the man who's come on, Pascal Connell, who's touched an awful lot of balls since he has. Tony Gibbons gets the ball, looked to have been fouled by the Rhode backs there, but Morris Deegan allows play to go on, and again looked like a foul on Micheál Fennelly, but free not coming out of the pocket of the Stradbally man. And on the attack are Rhode again, and Thomas Dowling. Dowling gets it now to McPadden. McPadden hasn't done a whole lot in the second half, but maybe he doesn't have to do a whole lot right until towards the end when he gets inside. Killian Mulhall still on the ball. Oh, lovely dummy. Look to get inside the player. I thought he made a meal of that, but Morris Deegan judges it to be a free in, and maybe David O'Toole a little bit unlucky. Maybe this man is watching too much Premiership football.
Exactly. I think that's the second time in the first half he made a bit of a lunge like that as well after the challenge, but Morris Deegan there was the wool was pulled over his eyes. He clearly went and gave McPadden the free there, which he'll probably convert. But David O'Toole, I thought, I have to agree with you, was a bit unlucky there. Had committed himself. McPadden seemed to get past him and all of a sudden lost his footing. So he got us free, and we'll probably kick this over the bar now to bring him even closer to Athy's lead. 11 points to
11 points to 7 at the moment. 11 points to 8. Yeah, TJ, thanks indeed. And here comes McPadden then. Yeah, good score. Judged it very well there a few minutes ago, and now it's 11 points to 8, so it's all to play for. A goal in it with 7.5 minutes remaining here at Páirc Uí Bhríonna as it gets that little bit colder, a little bit duller here as well. Don't know whether we've any more snow forecast, but it is a bitterly cold afternoon here. I'd imagine now at best about 2 degrees. But the players don't mind, they're well warmed up. I don't know about us here on the sideline. But all keeping it well. How are you, John? As the ball, I hope you got it in camera there, Dom. John Kearns, of course, the former Éire Óg and Carlow goalkeeper, organiser of this tournament, giving us a wave on camera. As Athy win a free. And it's going to be taken by David Hyland. Hyland now looking around, and McGovern goes for the run. Good run by McGovern now, vital to get this possession and use it sensibly. Gives it the ball towards the direction. Tony Gibbons was just cut out, but Kelly gets onto the ball. Gibbons could have been guilty of a third man tackle there, keeping the Rhode man out of the play as they try to move it on. Now Connell's on the ball, gives it back outside, looking to get in on the ball out to try and win it back out to Niall Kelly. Right footed ball, McGovern's there trying to help him out. McGovern right foot. Kelly, I should say, right foot, but it puts it to the right and wide. Kelly and McGovern in there under a bit of pressure from the Rhode backs. Eventually came back to Kelly, but he pulled it to the right and wide. The referee has the hand up. Don't know whether he's giving the nod for a substitution or something like that. I do see one of the Rhode lads stripping down on the sideline, waiting to come on the field. But Rhode take this quickly. They know they need to pull something out of the bag now. In the closing 6 minutes is left here on the clock. And trying to get the ball down towards Donald Hickey, but it's well read there by the Athy backs, and Sean Ronan back helping out, and Athy tried to get down to this. Hyland soccers it down along the sideline. You wonder why he didn't go down on the ball and win it, but still winning the free was Michael Keogh. And you'd feel, TJ, you know, with the closing stages here now, Athy just need to be a little bit sensible with their use of this possession.
Exactly, like they have a lead, they're not chasing to try and get themselves a lead. They have a lead of 3 points or a goal. So I think that the spell at the moment will be to keep possession of the ball, not to give away anything silly, give away silly frees at the back, or indeed to give away ball up in the forward line as well. Try and keep it calm, keep it cool for the last 6 or 7 minutes. And try and defend the lead that they have. I don't think they need to stretch it any further as long as they keep Rhode at bay.
That's all they have to do, you would feel. Possession now is the golden word out there on the field at the moment. It's a flight of ball towards Niall Kelly, goes for that ball, but is well marshalled, and pulling a kick on it was Paul Coates, but it's gone nowhere. What Athy didn't react in time, the Rhode backs did, and they have an opportunity now to come out here and build on this. Is O'Connell gets on the ball, doing an awful lot of work in trying to pull this Rhode team through this second half, and it's Conor McNamee that floats the ball, but no one there, and it was well read by Luke Thomas. Thomas now offloads it to Purcell back to Thomas. Thomas gives it into Gibbons back to Thomas, and the full back looks up now, looking for the run. Great run by David O'Toole. O'Toole's done this an awful lot in the second half, still goes strong. David O'Toole looked to be fouled. Referee waves play on. Back to Niall Kelly, about 6 Rhode backs there to the 3 Athy backs or forwards, and bursting onto the ball now is Hughie Man with a chance. Terrifying that it had gone wide, and it remains 12 points to 8 with just under 3 minutes remaining here at Páirc Uí Bhríon. So kick out now to come, and in fact he was giving a free, so that's why Paul Coates has taken it from his hand. Referee spotted something that we didn't, and picking it up now is Philip Foy, and tries to release the Rhode player on the far side. Very speedy move down along by Christopher Maguire. Maguire tried to get it inside into the middle, and that he does to O'Connell, and O'Connell tries to offload it again and keep this ball moving. It's the number 4 Thomas Mooney, not on being a whole lot of ball in the game as per se, but getting on it in the last couple of minutes, dropping it high in and around the house, because that's what Rhode need at this stage. But have to say, Pascal Connell has been very impressive since he's come on the field, winning the possession, and now Hughie Mann has a bit of room ahead of him, but not too much support. Loads of Rhode back to help out there, and Mann gets a ball, looked to being pulled back, and the referee waves play on. Connell hits a low ball in, trying to win that ball. Keelan Bulger though gets away from him, and Rhode build out again. And if you're a Rhode supporter, you need something to happen now in the next minute or thereabouts if you're to get anything out of this game. Gets away from them, and Athy now win the ball back. Rhode player pulled the kick, it connected with, I think it's Killian Mulhall, or is it Niall Kelly? Niall Kelly, just saw the number 2. It's Niall Kelly that's on the ground, and it was the number 19 that's on Dean Morris for Rhode. He's just come in the game with flashy yellow boots and all that. The boots didn't help him there.
Didn't know, no doubt about it. Yeah, challenged Niall Kelly fairly high there, but I think Niall now is going to use a bit of experience, and he might not be feeling any pain, but I'm sure he's going to stay down for an extra drink of water. There's not much time left. He's going to have to try and soak it up for his team. You know, 4 points in, and it's hard to see Rhode getting back into it, let's be honest, with 2 scores needed. So I think Athy, without putting the hex on them, think they might have the title, but not finished yet. Not finished yet,
of course. A minute to go, and Niall Kelly, as you said, being a little bit showing the experience, I'm sure, that he's garnered a little bit as an inter-county minor, in allowing the physio to come out and give him a bit of water and buy a bit of time. So McGovern now be all about keeping this ball in possession or putting it dead as much as he can, with under a minute remaining. A little bit of injury time, I'd imagine, to be played by Morris Deegan as well, but McGovern puts it into space on. That was a great run by David Hyland. Hyland's made a lot of good runs this second half. Hughie Mann now back out to Hyland. Hyland getting his possession. Keep possession, you'd say. But Hyland goes for a shot at goal. Pulls the ball though to the left and wide, and it even goes wide behind the second goal post here at Páirc Uí Bhríon. That's how wide this ball was. Maybe that's why he's a defender. No offence, David. But it's as good as a scorer, you would feel, because it's gone dead, and Athy could get up and win this, but winning it there is Brickland. Brickland has been moved back out to the middle because Athy really were getting on top in the middle, and he was of little effect in it full forward because they didn't really use him, you'd have to say, in the tactic. But Niall Kelly gets in there, wins that ball back for Liam McGovern, and you'd only say now that Athy are minutes away from claiming this title and a Leinster crown to go with their county title, which of course they've won 3 in a row. Rhode had 2 in a row coming in here today, but look, they've given up the ghost as Athy moved the ball forward. Hughie going for the spectacular, didn't make it to too far, and Athy burst out with the ball. It's whatever's left now on the clock of Morris Deegan as we head into injury time. 30 seconds of that played. I'd imagine there's about a minute or two of it to play it out, and we'll see. 4-point game it is, 12-point state. With Athy win the ball back again, and Morris Deegan has another look at the watch. Picking the ball up now is Purcell and looking inside to try and get it to Connell. Connell then looks outside again and gets the ball into the possession of Hughie Mann. Mann back outside to Gibbons. Gibbons now looks for Connell, and it's really now counting down the clock. It's nearly like Brazilian football here at the moment. You wonder for the cheers of the fans, and bursting onto it was Micheál Fenley, but the referee had judged a free. I don't know what he saw there, but anyway, that couple of passes there wound down the clock a good bit for Athy, and you'd feel now it's only a matter of time. So about a minute and a half of injury time played. And Rhode on this ball, but it's inside their own half. It's not going to do much good to them there. 12-point state it is. So they're standing about 55 metres from their own goal. Fly the ball down into the direction of the corner forward, Thomas Dowling. But winning it there is Athy, and that's it. It's all over. Athy are victorious in this Leinster Minor Football Tournament run by Éire Óg of Carlow. The win here on a scoreline of 12 points to 8. A fabulous performance all round by them, and you would have to feel that these Athy guys have shown tremendous heart here, especially in the second half. 9 points to 3 they were up going in at half time, but it was all about containment of Rhode. Rhode did come out with a good performance in that second half, tried to push it on, a couple of frees at the vital moments and a couple of good scores, but Athy, you'd have to feel, got into their own stride and just disrupted the momentum that maybe Rhode were building in that second half. They only got 3 points, but still they were all very important. 12 points to 8 it turns out though in the end here, and the crowd, as you can see, quite happy with that performance. The Leinster title going to be brought back to, of course, Gerline Park, and I imagine a little bit of a party for the lads as well. 3 in a row for them of county titles, and now as well winning the Leinster crown. So we'll wait to get the views and opinions of TJ in the next couple of minutes, and we'll also bring you the presentation here and maybe the reaction as well of some of the people that are involved. But for the moment, the full-time score here is 12 points to 8.
Looking for Niall Kelly here.
Right, we'll be talking to a few of the lads in a moment, but Marty, of course, I'm sure quite a happy man with Athy bringing home this Leinster title.
Yeah, it's a great success. It's been a great year for us last year. I suppose we're still in 2010 mode with the match being delayed for so long, but at the end of the year, we're minor champions again for 3 in a row. We won the under 21. Now we've lifted the Leinster final. It's a great success for us, and it's a great foundation for the years to come, hopefully, but it's up to us to make sure that it happens, and it's up to all of us to row in and make sure it happens for everybody.
Yeah, you said it's a good foundation, but of course we all know that of teams and of counties of winning minor titles, let's say, and they don't go on then and produce later on. So it's all important that, of course, the club and the mentors and stuff like that keep in with these guys and keep mentoring them the right way.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kelly. We've seen it before. You look back on league slip and won 3 in a row and really didn't produce many players at senior level. I think it's important for us as a club to stay patient. That these are still only young lads. They're not fully grown men, but at the same time, they have great potential. They have the appetite for it. There's no doubt about that. I suppose the one thing that sticks to me about this particular team and the 21s is they know how to win, and they don't do losing, and that's massive for us. But at the same time, we've got to be patient. We've got to work with them as a unit, and that means everybody in the club, from backroom to preparation, make sure that the foundation is there. It's there, but now we have to make sure that we bring it on. That's vital.
Lads well prepared, and you would have to say that their second half performance, especially playing into that wind and the impetus that was coming from Rhode, they were, as I mentioned on the video, able to disrupt Rhode at certain occasions.
Yeah.
Whether it was just with an attack up the field or whether it was with a score that proved vital.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like at half time, I was just saying to some lads beside us, like, this is the time where you need to win dirty ball in the second half. And if you look back at the 2 wing backs in particular, Barry Purcell centre back, they won a lot of what I would call dirty ball. They're diving in for balls. They know they're not going to gather it, but they're going to make sure them lads didn't gather it. And that was really what it was about. It was certainly containing, but to be fair to us, we still scored 3 in the second half. I don't know what they got. They got 5 maybe. So like that's a great performance against very difficult conditions.
So I would imagine these lads now will get an opportunity to celebrate and everything, because it striked into 2011, and I'm sure you would hope as well that we'll see plenty of these lads turn out with under 21 level and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Like at the moment, we've lads with the minor set up, we've lads with the 21 set up. So hopefully now, we did cherish tonight, but it's roll on 2011.
Éire Óg, just like to thank a few people have to thank is the referee and the linesman over the tournament who've been here even especially Enda Hull and Jimmy Kennedy who've been here for every match. I'd also like the organising committee who's done a great job, and even though the tournament has gone on a bit longer than expected over the weather and all that, it's great to have a day like today even though the conditions are difficult. Who was John Kenny, Dan McInerney and Jimmy Byrne. I'd also thank the ladies inside who provided tea and coffee and sandwiches for every team in that. Caroline Kenny and her team, so just well done to them. Also the young lads over there who did the soup kitchen every day, and again the weather was very poor and they turned out every night, so well done to them as well. There's been a lot of lads involved in organising the tournament, so just a thank you to them without mentioning any words. Just on the two teams today, well done to both Athy and Rhode in providing a great game of football under difficult conditions. Athy who were here last year and just were pipped at the post, came back again and won a deserving final, I'd say. And I'd like to ask Kyle Kenny to come forward on behalf of the Hosey family to present the cup to Liam McGovern, the Athy team.
Right here. Well done, lads.
I suppose I'd like to start off by thanking Rhode for providing this whole tournament and everything. We thought after the last couple of years we've come down here, the first year we got bet out the gate in the first round, last year we got pipped at the post by the Dublin crowd, and now this year we finally won it, so here boys. Second of all, I'd like to thank everyone that's after turning out for the last two matches, for the whole year really, because especially Huey Man, he's turned up for a few of us, but the crowd in the tide are after coming out and supporting us is just something fantastic, so thanks for that as well. Thanks very much. Also, just again, it's like I'm a parrot or something, like repeat myself from the county final, but Shane, Pat, Joe and everyone, Tony, Eugene, Joe Kelly that have been involved with us for the whole year. It's a year and a day. A year and a day today, so thanks very much for that, boys, and we'll see you all back in the club. We're training tomorrow. And oh yeah, sorry, there's another group of people who would like to thank them. I see them standing over there. 3 cheers for Rhode for putting up a great performance today and all the other days they played down here. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip! Hooray! Cheers, boys! Put your finger in your mouth.
Right, successful manager of the Athy team, Shane Purcell, great to have that victory.
Look, it's not about me, like, it's about the team. In fairness, like, I had a great, absolutely fantastic bunch of lads with me. Joe Kelly, Joe Robinson, Pat Constantine and Tony Gibbons. Fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better bunch of lads to work with me this year. Like, in fairness to them, all year they put an awful lot of work into this. It didn't happen like over the last 4 or 5 weeks since we were county champions. This has happened, like, it's happened since this time last year. We met actually this time last year. It was at 6th of January, and we decided that we'd try and win the Kildare Championship, and by doing so we'd have to push on and try and win every game, because if we got into a slump and started to lose a game, win a game, the wheels might come off the wagon. So we focused on one game at a time, and thank God the boys done that, and they went from strength to strength, and now look at they're Leinster champions. Yeah,
it's great to have a tournament like this for maybe that grade as well, because sometimes it's just a case of you win the county title and that's it, and as Liam said, you know, appreciative now of winning it.
Oh, look, it's fantastic. As I say, like, to represent your county is one thing, and to go out and play the champions of another club, And then you know where you're going then. Like these lads, they were in this final last year and they were beaten, and they had it in their belly today coming up here that they wanted to win this. You know, there was no way they were going to let this one go. They knew they were good enough, but look, by being good enough doesn't mean you're going to win it. You have to get out there and do the work. And in fairness to this team, it's the work they put on the field that gets them where they are.
Shane, as well, you know, these lads have very quickly become winners and known to be winners as well. So they seem to, as you said, have that bit between the teeth every time they go to contest something now.
Yeah, they have the bit between their teeth now. They're going into a habit of winning matches, which is a great habit to have. Like, so hopefully they can keep it going now. And like these lads, a lot of these lads will be over age next year, and they're going to be going on to represent a tie at under 21 and maybe a tie at senior. But they have that winning feeling in their belly, and they don't like losing. And it's a great habit to have, as I say. And look, I'd be very surprised if these lads don't go on and win the Denver Cup in a couple of years' time.
Well, high hopes indeed, but that seems to be the way Athy want to go forward though.
Certainly we have to think that way. Now we're after winning 3 minors in a row, we're after winning the under 21, so we have to look at the Denver Cup and maybe 3 or 4. We have to be patient at the same time. This won't happen overnight. There's a lot of work to be done to win that, because as you know, every club in Kildare is gunning for a tie, and if a tie don't put the work in, they're going nowhere. But these lads are willing to work shocking hard. If I called training at Christmas morning, Stevens' morning, if I did, these lads, I wouldn't be afraid. Every one of these lads would turn up.
Shane, that's obviously, you know, been part of the success as well. That not only do you have to drive it, but the lads want to drive it as well.
Oh, the lads, look, if I hadn't training, we gave them a break the week before Christmas. Said we give them a week off. They were actually ringing me wondering was there something wrong. You know, that's the sort of yard. These lads are mad to train. They don't mind training, and like they have a standard of fitness up now, and they want to keep it there. And they're all, I'd say these lads are looking forward to their next match. They're playing with the school now this week, and they're actually looking forward to it.
Right, Shane. Well, of course, you're yourself and, of course, the lads that have been a part of your backroom team well involved within the club. I would imagine it's something now you'd like to keep a foothold in and continue again next year?
No, I won't. I'm going back to start at underage now in a tie now. That's my plan. I have another young lad coming up, and I'm going to get involved with the under 10s and back at the underage in a tie and try and bring them on again. There's other lads involved in the club. There was other teams. There was other mentors who were involved last year and the year before. They can go ahead now and work away with the club now for the next couple of years. And maybe in time, give me another couple of years, I get another bit of experience. I might try and push on and bring it to another level.
But of course, it's all about continuing the cycle, and it's good to see lads like yourself getting involved.
So look, I love underage football. I love all football, but look, being involved with young fellas when they give you everything. So what more can you ask for?
And going to enjoy it tonight?
Oh, certainly. We didn't think we were going to be Leinster champions at this time last year when we met, but look, we're Leinster champions now. We're certainly going to enjoy it.
Well, there you have it. The views of manager Shane Purcell as Athy, of course, continue as Leinster champions, winning here again by 12 points to 8. Okay, we're looking back at the minor final in TJ Clare, and TJ, great, you know, Athy winning again here by 12 points to 8. Classy second half performance in the way that they were able to maintain possession when you consider obviously Rhode were going to come out with all fire in their bellies.
Exactly. I mean, we did mention that, you know, they had a lead of 9 points to 3 at half time, and we did feel that we hadn't seen all of Rhode, and Rhode did come out and give it everything. We've seen Stephen O'Connell, who was lively in the first half, started to settle down and got himself 2 frees and converted both of them. But as you said, Athy were smart. Lee McGovern, David Hyland, David O'Toole, I thought both of those boys are very good in the half back line, keeping the ball and not losing it. And even when it went in towards the inside lines, Hughie Mann, Michael Keogh, and you know, Niall Kelly as well, they were very strong to try and hold on to possession and to try not waste it, because in the first half both teams I think were a small bit guilty of kicking away the ball, but we did say that possession was going to be the name of the game for especially the final 10 minutes of the game, and Athy managed to hold on to it and hold on to the lead that they forged out.
Yeah, the lads, David Hyland and of course David O'Toole, very impressive in that second half as regards to just the attacks that they made, the sensible attacks, but also the off the ball running as well, to be giving the option, because it was all important to get the ball out of certain areas where Rhode were trying to dominate. Exactly, yeah, and at Rhode they did change their tactics a small bit to put 2 big men in the foot forward line, and were trying to work it in there, and you could see that in David O'Toole and David Hyland were trying not to give away the balls and to be allowed to be launched back in again, and they were very smart in their running as well. Rhode are a naturally fit team, as Athy are, but the runs that the likes of David Hyland, David O'Toole make, whether they get the ball or not, it creates space. It's a fine big pitch here in Éire Óg and Páirc Uí Bhrín, and they were very intelligent about how they went about their football. You know, David O'Toole managed to chop himself a nice point onto the board, but you know, the work off the ball really is what won it for Athy in the end. And we heard Shane talking about how hard they've worked, and Lee McGovern said it's a year and a day since they started training, and you could see it out there. You know, conditions did get tough, the wind did get strong, and the backs were against the wall for a while, because Rhode came out and really had nothing to lose with a gap of 6 points to make up. But Athy were intelligent about how they moved the ball, and the decisions they made when they got into scoreable positions were
on the majority of the right ones.
Yeah, because when you look at it with the forwards as well, the talent that's among there, but they were cute in that second half, and the running of sometimes of Gibbons and Kelly as well. Hughie was very impressive, especially in that last quarter with some of the runs that he made, and a very intelligent score down here by hand passing it over the bar at a stage maybe that Rhode were within a goal.
That was it. It was down to 11 points to 8 at that stage, and there was a 3-point gap, and Rhode were still looking dangerous, and all it took would have taken was one mistake from an Athy man to let that ball go into, as we said, the two big men up front. But Hughie was very smart, he kept a cool head, full minor at the moment, took the ball in his stride, cut in from the railway side, and he just fisted over the bar. Another time he might have tried to have a shot, a pot at goal, or put it across the face of the goal, but he used his head there and put it over and put a bit of a foundation and stability under Athy for the final 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, it's an end of a cycle as such, 3 years as we normally tend to associate with GAA, but again Athy, as the club continues to go up and up, pressure maybe from some people in saying now that it has to be built on with an under-21 title and maybe senior level. You won't want to put pressure like that on these young lads, but still, it's the club to go forward, they have to be winning things.
Exactly, and I think it's not unfair to have that pressure. I think it's only natural that people will expect success to follow on, and winning is a good habit, and this team seems to have it. And I would expect pressure for a senior title in the coming years to let the likes of young minors and young under-21s to settle, and I think the point has to be made to give them time to settle. A senior title won't come automatically no matter who you have in charge or who you have playing on the field. Lads are going to have to mature into their jerseys that they're wearing as senior footballers, but I've no doubt that the talent is here in the club for a senior title, and we'd like to see all these minors and under-21s, to make a contribution to that, to keep this winning habit going, which everybody talks about, getting the winning habit and getting that hunger in your belly. And once you have it, it's easy enough to keep it there sometimes, but when you lose it, it's extremely hard to get back again. So Athy as a club won't want to lose this momentum. 3 in a row, the under-21 title, and then this Leinster title as well. Caps off a nice year in 2010, and hopes for 2011 will certainly be high.
TJ, thanks very much.
No problem. Thanks.
Right, and to finish it all off, we're joined by the captain, Liam McGovern, and you're a proud man with that Cup of Fine trophy.
Sure, it's a gorgeous old yoke now, to be fair. I'm delighted with it. It's going to be the third one sitting on the old mantelpiece, including the under-21s and the minor the county one, which are, I suppose I'm going to have to share them at some stage, share them around the club. Delighted with it now, it's great.
Liam, it's obviously all the special. You've been there now with the minor set up since, I suppose, this cycle of lads have kind of come together, and you've pulled away with the 3. It's nice to maybe put the cream now of a Leinster title on top of all that.
Yeah, well, that was our goal. And I just said it there, and after the match there, it was first year we didn't do anything, and then last year we lost the final, and this year, thank God, we actually came away with it. So it's definitely an absolute experience from that we came through.
For yourself though as well, the last 3 years have, I'm sure as an underage footballer, have been exemplary.
Yeah, sure. The way it's gone now, I've been fortunate to be on the good teams. I've been playing football flat out for 3 years. Sure, if you don't stop playing football, it's easy to stay going, And from my point of view, I'm delighted with this win. It's made up for a lot of hard losses over the last year and 3 years, really.
Looking at it then as well, as you said, by winning the Leinster crown, you came up here against Rhode today, a side that were also coming in, hotly fancied maybe in their own way because they'd put back-to-back titles in awfully tough opposition.
Oh, very much so, and we knew that they'd be training with their senior team as well, that they'd be flying fit, and it showed there that they really pushed us to the end, and I suppose you're never going to get an easy opposition in a Leinster final, but thank God we pulled through again.
Second half was all about character and maybe nicking a few scores, which you did.
Yeah, we did, in fairness. Remember, I got a handy out free there, and Niall kicked a great score, and Hughie fisted one over the bar, and I think it was pure lads have been together for a whole year now. We've been training. Last week it's like we just started, it's still fresh and lads are still best friends, so it's great going all together. One of the boys.
What is it in fairness though about this group of players that you just seem to flow one group into the other and maybe able to continue the ethos of the club, which is all about maybe putting Athy back on a successful stage, eventually getting to senior level?
To be honest, everyone's best friends. We hang around with each other in school, we hang around with each other out of school. Everything we do everything together, so it's just a matter of lads coming together and having the same passion for football, and I suppose it's great. The last maybe Athy have been seen as soft opposition. You can get at them. Maybe they have a few good footballers and you can get at them. But I suppose these lads here, we decided to try and change that, you know. But I know from personal experience, or this team right now, we lost every game until we were under 16 really, so we know what it feels like to lose and we don't want to feel that again, you know.
Well, you're getting into the habit of winning now and hope to continue it.
Oh, hopefully now, and there's a few good lads there standing in front of me too, and hopefully we can carry we can carry it through to the senior stage. That's really where it matters now, you know. We've got to 3 minors and hopefully we can progress it to senior, and now that I'm out of minor I have to put on the headlights and hopefully we'll get the senior on too.
Good man, Liam. Well, we'll just get you to lift up that trophy there and show it well on the video. There you have it then.
Nice one.
The Leinster minor trophy, Athy winning it then, and Captain Liam McGovern signing off on his 3 years as a minor by captaining the side to that Leinster crown. Thanks indeed, Liam. So there you have it, Carlo defeating Rhode of Offaly by 12 points to 8.